Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life, that there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church.
This is the sign of the horns, a curse sign, the two fingers extended. This way, spread apart for sort of shotgun blast.
Jesus' physical nature, he has the traits of his mother. Today, Gloria Copeland, my wife, will be concluding her series on the spirit of faith.
God had prepared that man to meet us so we could be a blessing to him.
Let all the earth keep silence before
When
him.
you enter that holy temple,
there is no doubt about it that preaching is your calling. Let me make you an offer you cannot refuse. I can give you fleets of churches that would rival any church in the world. I can make you the biggest pastor in the whole of Africa. All you need to do is redo your oath. Brother, do you know how many pastors come get their powers from us? A lot.
Here we can see this lady speaking into the microphone that's in Benny Hinn's hand. Now watch this next bit very carefully. As the picture changes to another view of a camera that is filming this scene, you can see Benny Hinn's co-worker extending out his right hand, which is on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Now watch his hand very, very carefully as he curls up the two middle fingers and leaves the two end ones extended. Watch what happens next. Benny Hinn sees this and is aware that the camera will pick this up. So he quickly grabs the microphone with his left hand and uses his right hand to slap his co-worker's hand out of the way. As if to say, don't do it so blatantly or they'll find out who we are.
You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world as it exists today.
Motherfuckers be gay in Hollywood, you never fucking expect it. They be having these big ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited than a motherfucker to be at the mansion party. You be looking at all the goddamn rooms, and you fuck around and look in the wrong room and shit. Nick, come here, come here.
And whatever you do not, I repeat, do not go into that spooky island castle.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Password, sir?
Fidelio.
Thank you, sir.
Bill, I know what happened last night.
I'm sorry, Victor. What in the hell are you talking about?
Please, Bill, no games. I was there. At the house. Bill, what the hell did you think you were doing? Who do you think those people were? Those were not just ordinary people there. If I told you their names, I'm not going to tell you their names, but if I did, I don't think you'd sleep so well.
He said if I told you the names of these people that were at that party, you probably wouldn't sleep well at night. These people are not ordinary people at these parties. They're CEOs, presidents, politicians, celebrities, and royal families.
What secret was so important that you and your friends built a group around it?
Oh, think about it, Lex. Skull and Bones, Scroll and Key, the Delphic. The rich have secret societies, the others have poker nights. The rich have secret societies, the others have poker nights. The rich have secret societies, the others have poker nights.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild.
I'm sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322?
Hello, Brother Roger. Come right in, Brother Squidward.
Because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club.
Well, it was good to catch up, but I better be going. I'm gonna be late for my secret club initiation.
Initiation?
Yeah, apparently you get a really cool ring for joining.
Brother Mordecai, you have made a pact with the Order of the Blondes. Here's a really cool ring to show that you're a member of our really cool club.
By the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all, at all, at all. Man. And nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day.
So let's go to the book, Esoteric Hollywood, by Jay Dyer, page 39. Note the similarity of imagery in Eyes Wide Shut to the Rothschilds ball described earlier in Chapter 1, and the celebrations at the 40th birthday of Prince Pavlos of Greece, as well as revelations concerning IMF banker Dominique Strauss-Kahn's sex parties, as reported by New York Times. The investigation into the prostitution ring in Lila ultimately swept up 10 suspects, including Mr. Strauss-Kahn. They knew each other largely through their membership as French Freemasons, according to Carl Van Dam, a defense lawyer who represents Fabrice Poskowski, the owner of the medical supply company, who played a crucial role in organizing the sex parties. Author Terry Melanson comments, the Heaven and Hell themed party was held at Prince Pavlos' £12 million London mansion, and participants were decked out in masks and costumes suggestive of Eyes Wide Shut. Ice sculptures of angels graced the marquee with room for 200 in the garden, which was meant to be heaven, writes Colin Ferdinand of the Daily Mail. Meanwhile, the swimming pool in the basement was covered over and decked out to resemble hell, with stilt walkers and erotic dancers. That they would choose to dress up in a particular way as to allude to Eyes Wide Shut, the definitive film portrayal of elite Illuminati debauchery, is significant. Royalty, after all, more than any other class, are exceedingly familiar with their ancestry. Prince Pavlos, I'm sure he's aware, is a direct descendant of a documented member of the Bavarian Illuminati, Karl Landgrave of Hessen Castle. Likewise, guest Prince Michael of Kent and his kids, Prince Andrew and Viscount of Linley, David Albert Charles Armstrong Jones, and Crown Prince Haakon of Norway are all direct descendants of another documented member of the Bavarian Illuminati, Duke Ernest II of Saxe-Gotha-Altenburg. For a more hardcore example of this type of revelry, author Dave McGowan recounts the details surrounding the infamous De Drew affair, which involved human trafficking, European elites, murder, and secret societies, as children and women were procured for orgies and worse amongst the degenerate elite. Outrage continued to grow as more arrests were made and evidence of high-level government and police complicity continued to emerge. One of De Dreau's accomplices, businessman Michael Nahol, confessed to organizing an orgy at a Belgian chateau that has been attended by government officials, a former European commissioner, and a number of law enforcement officers. A Belgian senator noted, quite accurately, that such parties were part of a system which operates to this day and is used to blackmail the highly placed people who take part. As the New York Times reported, Conor Rock became a national hero after saving 2 children from a secret dungeon kept by a convicted child rapist and ordering an inquiry that led to the discovery of the bodies of 4 girls kidnapped by a child pornography ring. Nahol's parties not only involve sex, they include sadism, torture, and murder. This is what they do at these mass parties, and they have children hidden in the secret dungeons, and they use them for their rituals, because they feel as if it pleases Satan even more when they use the innocent for their demonic practices.
I got a feeling they're about to perform their evil Darkopolis ritual.
The Darkopolis ritual?
That's right.
That's what the ancient text describes.
Hey, hold on, don't open it. Don't open that.
They use the protoplasm in the fat as an energy source. And the leader needs to absorb a purely good soul to complete the ritual.
They can't do the ritual without a pure human soul. Where in the world are they going to get one of those?
Children have a pure human soul, so that's who they use for the rituals.
And your son was innocent, wasn't he? Peter, that was your son's name, wasn't it? And you sacrificed your son to the gods, didn't you?
Well, that was my salvation. I was reborn.
And they even allude to child kidnapping in the movie Monsters, Inc. because these people are monsters. So first they show you the reptile attempting to kidnap the kid, and he got the wrong person. Then they find an entrance to a secret underground dungeon.
The guy making the ball!
Boo! Way to go!
And then in another scene, they're literally shackling her to a chair. And for what? Why are they going through all this trouble?
You're going in there because we need this. Our city is counting on you to collect those children's screams. Without Scream, we have no power.
So what do the screams represent? Adrenochrome. So let's go to an article by Scarenormal titled The Elite Superdrug, Adrenochrome. What is adrenochrome? Adrenochrome is an organic chemical substance which is produced by oxidation of the adrenal gland. They are located on top of each kidney. Adrenaline is believed to be produced when a person is excited or is undergoing an adrenaline rush. The compound can cause hemostasis or is anti-hemorrhagic in nature. Sale or uses of adrenochrome as a drug is highly controlled and regulated by the FDA. Now this is where it gets crazy. To make adrenochrome, it has to be harvested. This associates the drug to human sacrifice, the elite, the cabal, and Hollywood. It is believed that adrenochrome makes a person retain his or her youth. Users experience a unique euphoria feeling. Adrenochrome is said to be harvested from kidnapped children under the age of 9. The children need to be at their most fearful in order to extract potent adrenaline and epinephrine from their pineal gland.
Say hello to the Scream Extractor. Hello.
It has the combined effects of both super strong speed and LSD. The adrenaline/epinephrine is extracted quickly as the adrenaline is not as potent over time. The subject is sometimes kept alive for numerous extractions. The way it's done is through a needle being punctured into the eye to secure adrenaline/epinephrine from the brainstem. The elite are said to run massive child trafficking rings all around the world, buying and selling children for their own pleasure. Children are heavily used since they experience a huge spike of adrenaline from the pineal gland. In 2018, NCMEC reports 424,000 plus missing children every year in America. A lot of the elite are addicted to this substance. They participate in what's called spirit cooking and have parties surrounding the subject of human sacrificing. These people sacrifice children, eat the bodies, drink the blood, and worship dark gods. This stuff tends to be quite addicting. Many who try the drug tend to have a hard time coming off of it. The compound has several effects on the human brain. Ingestion of this drug can give a mental high like no other, but may cause other psychotic reactions like hallucinations and will even cause schizophrenia in some cases. Participators of the ritual would experience the type of high of the adrenaline, increased senses, hallucination, feeling of euphoria, hypomania, depersonalization, bizarre ideation, etc. This is why in the movie Chicken Little, that duck-looking character was completely spaced out when she saw the spaceship.
Abby, wake up!
The reason why she was spaced out like that was because of the design under the spaceship. It's almost identical to the adrenochrome chemical structure, and she's representing the high that they experience when they're on adrenochrome. And let's not forget, this movie was partly about a kid that was thought to be kidnapped.
Why did you take our child?
Hey! Just hold on there, buddy.
Even in the movie The Fate of the Furious, you can tell Hollywood is very aware of the correlation between child abduction and adrenochrome.
When early men would visit a watering hole, if they didn't watch their child and it got snatched by a crocodile, our brains would create a painful but instructional memory, so it would never happen again. She said, "I am the crocodile at the watering hole that snatched the child." And the design right behind her looks very similar to the adrenochrome chemical structure. And if you watch the movie, she really did take this guy's child, then used the baby as leverage to induce him to do her bidding. This is proving that Hollywood knows exactly what adrenochrome is. Movies are the truth, everything else is the lie. And another thing to notice is, when you're watching these children movies, they usually use soccer balls to represent the adrenochrome chemical structure. Now another thing that caught my attention was the fact that they used a reptile to kidnap the kid. And there's people out there that are actually saying that there's reptilians living among us disguised as humans.
Really? I don't know. I'll stop all our domination plans. I'll pull my lizard men out of Congress. Just let me go.
And these reptilians, or these lizard men, are also part of this kidnapping scheme. And they show us in the movie, The Dark Tower.
Watch out. They'll take you. They steal kids like you. Cross them over. Special ones. The power of your mind. That's what they want.
And in this movie, these reptilians were kidnapping these kids and then stealing their screams. Literally the same plot as Monsters, Inc.
Say hello to the Scream Extractor. Hello.
Even in the movie The Amazing Spider-Man, the doctor that created a serum that eventually transformed him into a giant lizard was seen climbing up a tower that looked similar to the adrenochrome chemical structure. And in the live-action Scooby-Doo movie, the reptilian-like creatures needed a human suit to remain undetected in Spooky Island.
What the? You could use a little sunlight. That's one part of the mystery solved. The creatures must need our bodies to survive in sunlight. Like a human suit.
So let's go to the book, The Element Encyclopedia of Secret Societies, page 53. The leading figure in this movement is the British commentator David Icke, a former football commentator and a Green Party candidate turned conspiracy hunter, whose many books argue that the world is secretly controlled by a race of shape-shifting alien lizards from the constellation Draco, who disguise themselves as human beings. The House of Windsor, the Bush family in America, and essentially every other family in the world with political or economic influence, according to Icke, belong to this reptilian race. Freemasonry once again plays a significant role in these ideas as a major reptilian stronghold. As weird as these claims may seem, they have attracted a sizable following in recent years. According to Icke, the reptilians are the secret masters of the world, a race of aliens from Draco who crossbred with human beings millennia ago to produce hybrid bloodlines that run the world on the surface, while others of pure reptile blood lurk in the caverns far below.
I live on the ground. Y'all are just tourists.
The crossbreeds who can shapeshift from human to reptile form include all past and present royal families of Britain, all other European royal houses, and every one of the presidents of the United States, from George Washington to George W. Bush. It is no exaggeration to say that in Icke's view, every person who's ever held political, religious, or economic influence at any point in human history is a reptilian crossbreed.
Now, back in the 30s, FDR made a deal with these reptilians to exchange people for technology. That was the basis of the New Deal. But ever since, they've been slowly replacing all the world leaders to create a nuclear holocaust to make global warming real for their takeover.
The Knights Templar, the Illuminati, and most of the other bête noirs of contemporary conspiracy theory are simply fronts for the vast reptilian conspiracy, and the establishment of the New World Order is their central goal. If this were not enough, they also passionately enjoy drinking human blood. Now, I'm not 100% sure if these reptilian things live among us, but I know Hollywood isn't putting it in their movies for no reason.